The Crawleys are back, but this time it's for the last time. Get ready, because the grand farewell to Downton Abbey is shaping up to be its most emotional ride yet. If you think you're ready, think again. Downton Abbey 3 finally has a name, and it's pulling no punches. Downton Abbey, the grand finale. And yes, it sounds just as emotional as you'd expect. Focus Features and Carnival Films have locked in the release date for September 12, 2025, and while they're keeping plot details under wraps, the few hints they've shared already have fans buzzing. We've been given a teaser poster and a tagline that hits right in the heart. The time has come to say goodbye. It's haunting, especially for those still emotionally recovering from a new era. The poster shows Lady Mary in an elegant red gown standing on a matching carpet that flows into the film's title: simple, sophisticated, and quietly powerful. If you were clinging to the idea that this might not be the end, well, it's time to let go. Even Imelda Staunton's hints about this being the final chapter feel more real than ever. Remember when Mr. Carson wished for another 100 years of history? Beautiful thought, but deep down, we all sensed this moment was inevitable. Before we get into what could happen, let's take a look back at where we left off. In 1927, everything changed for the Crawleys when they were informed that King George V and Queen Mary would be visiting Downton. Naturally, the estate went into overdrive preparing for the royal arrival. Lady Mary, worried about everything going smoothly, brought Carson out of retirement, much to Barrow's dismay. As if that wasn't enough, the boiler broke down, bringing in a repairman who grew a little too close to Daisy, igniting Andy's jealousy. When the royal staff arrived, they were full of pomp and arrogance, trying to take control of the household. But Anna, Bates, and the rest of the Downton staff weren't about to be sidelined. In true, clever fashion, they drugged the royal chef, locked up an overly pushy staffer, and caught the Queen's dresser stealing. In the end, they pulled off an impressive dinner that left the king genuinely amazed. So much so that Mosley couldn't help but blurt out that it was all Downton's doing. Elsewhere, Tom Branson stopped a royal assassination plot and later consoled a distraught Princess Mary, helping her see hope for her strained marriage. Meanwhile, the romance between Tom and Lucy Smith, Ma Bagshaw's secretly royal daughter, began to bloom. In Downton Abbey, A New Era, set in 1928, Tom and Lucy tied the knot. Violet shocked everyone by revealing she once inherited a villa in the south of France from an old flame, and she decided to leave it to her great-granddaughter Sibby to help balance the social scales within the family. Half the family traveled to see the villa: Robert, Cora, Edith, Tom, Lucy, Lady Bagshaw, and Bertie, since Violet was too ill to go. Of course, drama followed. The mother of the new Marquise challenged Violet's ownership, but legally the villa was hers. And when the Marquise hinted that he and Robert might be half-brothers, it hit Robert hard. Especially as Cora had recently revealed she might be seriously ill. Back at Downton, a silent film was being shot. Robert wasn't thrilled, but Mary argued the money could help fix the leaky roof. Then the film faced cancellation thanks to the sudden rise of talkies. Mary came to the rescue again, turning it into a sound film. Myna, the lead actress, had a voice that didn't match her elegant screen persona, so Mary dubbed over her lines. Myna almost quit, but Anna and Daisy convinced her to stay. Meanwhile, Mosley penned a new script and accidentally proposed to Baxter while mic'd up. Barrow bonded with film star Guy Dexter, who offered him a job and a future in New York. Barrow accepted. Cora's illness turned out to be manageable, and Edith decided to return to her magazine career. But the biggest blow came when Violet passed away. Months later, Tom and Lucy returned to Downton with their baby, and Violet's portrait now hangs proudly in the Great Hall. Now we turn to the final chapter, and with a title like the grand finale, you just know the filmmakers aren't holding back. Paul Giamatti returns as Harold Levinson, Cora's brother, which means there's a strong chance Shirley MacLaine's Martha, Cora's fiery American mother, might also reappear. Or we could be getting word that she's passed on. What's more, the story's timeline is brushing right up against the Great Depression. The previous film ended in 1928. That puts us just a year before the 1929 Wall Street crash. If Harold, and maybe even Martha, are broke, that could bring serious financial drama to the Crawleys, who've already had their share of money troubles. And that's not the only concern. Carson's condition could worsen, finally forcing him into full retirement. Cora's earlier anemia diagnosis could have been a misread. What if it really is cancer? Just like they feared. Whatever happens, one thing's clear. This movie won't be pulling its punches. Once the first trailer drops, it's going to hit hard. So maybe the better question isn't who we'll be saying goodbye to, but how many. When Downton Abbey, the grand finale, lands on September 12th, fans will need tissues, support, and probably a lot of chocolate. Someone warn Kleenex and BetterHelp, because we're all going to need backup. Now it's your turn. Who are you most worried about in this final chapter? Could Violet have left behind one last twist? What's your wildest prediction for how it all ends? Let us know in the comments, and if you're as invested as we are, don't forget to subscribe. This final journey is one we're taking together.